updated or deleted? Can
So-
they say anything?
so-
That is the reaction was on that particular area because the reaction was on something else.
No, you did a
The
good
reaction
job.
was more on the scope than it
No,
was on
yeah,
the role.
you did a good job. Yeah, so I think that you,
So,
and I'm not trying to interrupt you if you want to do more, but yeah, so you said you're saying you're changing all your scope stuff based on all the reactions,
On the
which is good.
reaction, yeah.
And then when you're ready, the proposal, for the
Yes.
proposal part, it's just like gonna be.
Yeah, there needs to be a clear proposal of either maybe, I think what you want is to create a role for playbook, right? Or whatever you want to call the role, right?
Or a circle.
Yeah,
FAQ.
or a circle.
Internal
Well,
FAQ.
Honestly, if I was able to just like say it for you, I would say that the strategy role needs to be expanded into a circle, and we need to have a meeting. That's what I would say.
Don't inject your
Yes.
little governance reception there.
Because technically I have a role as the strategy lead.
She said earlier that she wants a subcircle for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm allowing too much crosstalk.
That's an objection,
Alright.
right?
It's not an objection, but because I still want to hear the proposal.
Okay.
Because the proposal has to be creating, removing, or modifying a role or a policy.
Or circle. Role policy or circle.
Yeah.
So the proposal was to create a temporary circle, and
Okay.
it still stays that way with participants from different areas.
Okay. Any objections? No objections. Next. Done. We got a roll.
Approved.
We got a circle. So you will take charge in creating that circle. Okay. So now goal for DevCon 3. Who's
Yeah.
this?
This is for me.
Okay. So
Okay.
tension and proposal.
Yeah, well, then the DevCon 3 is coming close, and we need to prepare DevCon 3, and I think that the first step to prepare DevCon 3 is what we expect, what are the goals that we need for DevCon 3, because after knowing the goals, maybe, depending on the goals, we will have to create some circle or some structure on that, and we are in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so that's the proposal is just to define the goals. I don't think that define the goals you need to create anything strange. I think it's like just people need to think and have a meeting to agree on that goals. And from
Define
that,
goal is what you said, sorry.
No interrupting.
Define the
He's got to
goals.
finish his tension and his.
so
Proposal.
the proposal is just to make a small meeting. I don't know if it's in this place or in this. Just define these goals, and once we agree in these goals, it probably will come depending on the goals. If the goals is none, it's nothing. But if the goals are very specific, then probably we'll need some circle or some structure. I don't know what in order to manage that. The communications. If maybe we want to be part of the we say that the advisors can pay promoter, or I don't know what's the name, but some advisor in there, depending on the goals that we have. But the first step, I think the first proposal is just to have a meeting or something, I don't know what, to define the goals.
Okay, so clarifying question. Oh, you can go first.
Okay.
Define questions.
Or is it? Can I do objection right now?
No.
Because for me this is not
Clarifying
scope
question.
now. Okay.
Okay.
It's a meeting now.
The clarifying is clear, but I
Yeah.
just try to.
Are you thinking only on the goals on the development side, or are you thinking the goals
Give it side.
overall?
The goals on all the sides.
Okay.
As
So-
giveth.
Clarifying question. Are you saying specifically that we should create a circle of for DevCon 3, a small circle for DevCon for deciding a strategy on DevCon 3?
I think that to define the goal, you don't need to create something very strange. So
Yeah.
I think defining the goal should be defined in a talk of less than 3 minutes of the right. You know, maybe it's a circle room. So I don't think if that must be done in a circle, then we create a circle. But I don't know if you need to create a circle just to make a decision, to just decide what's the goal. And probable after the goal, depending on the goal, just to define the strategy, to follow the strategy and all that, probable it would be necessary a circle and more people just working on it.
Are you clarifying question? Are you going to lead the circle, or do you, or are you nominating someone to lead?
Depending on the goal. I don't know if it will have to be a circle.
The circle, well, yeah.
If
it'll be
it's a
circle.
technical, maybe if the goal is just to, if the goal is just try to prepare a technical talk and explain a technical smart contract in the goal, probably will leave the circle. If the goal is just knowing, so giving knowledge about the brain, probably is not the right person.
I thought your proposal was to create a circle to determine the goal for DEFCON 3.
Yeah, but it's yeah. Well, if you want a circle, but I don't think that well,
A
I don't
circle
know.
is a
I don't know how much bureaucracy is in creating a circle.
Nothing.
Okay, but I think that we just need to take a single decision. It's just define the goal, and I think it should be a no more than 10 minutes decision from us, just to say, okay, the goal is this. Bam.
So, would you like to lead that circle, or are you nominating yourself to lead that circle, or are you nominating somebody else to lead that circle?
So that's a circle.
Yeah, that's a circle. To determine what the goal is of this.
Okay, I will lead the circle.
Okay, there it is.
So that's the proposal.
Yep, that's a proposal.
That's a proposal, but it's not going to be a circle. It's just going to be it's going to be a meeting of 5 minutes. It's not gonna,
So,
Clarifying question?
to interrupt, to take a break from the meeting and just give a clarifying on the governance. So, only thing that can happen in governance is saying that somebody should be in charge of something, right? That's pretty much it. And so, you say, what I'm hearing is you want someone to be in charge of determining the goal for DEFCON 3, and that person who's in charge of determining it can decide that they want to have a vote of everybody, right? That's fine, but there has to be a point person who makes that decision.
but can I make that now a proposal that in this same decision just ask everybody what they think should be the goal?
That's not the governance. That's not a governance meeting. No.
Because
No.
it's out of this
You-
scope of this meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
so-
can propose to do this at a later point.
Yeah,
Or
I
it's a
mean,
working group.
right now this meeting is long, hard, whatever,
Yeah,
but it's
I
like
need to
training
understand.
wheels.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
need to understand
So,
what's.
and then later on, it's like you're just saying, hey, I want the authority to get a goal for DEFCON 3, and then
Yeah, but-
later after the meeting, you can just take whoever
But
side
I'm just
however you
asking.
want.
So I'm asking. So this, how do I solve? So I think that this is good. It's not even for me. It's good for Gibbet. You know, it's for
Yeah.
me because for Gibbet. So okay, then we need to define a goal because we need to create a kind of team or whatever.
Yeah,
just
it
to
doesn't
work
matter
on
the
that.
why.
Okay,
It doesn't matter the why.
but this is my problem. Okay,
Mhm.
my way to solve is that we have to have a meeting of 5 minutes just to decide that goal. So that's the thing. That's the best way to solve that.
So your
And you're
proposal-
gonna lead that meeting.
Yeah.
And
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna lead that
make
meeting,
that meeting happen.
whenever it's necessary. I
Yep.
don't know. I need to know how can I start this meeting. Who wants to join this meeting? I know how to work, and
Yeah.
I don't know if
However
I don't
you
know
want.
if I have to create a circle, a role, or I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I'm very newbie in
Yeah,
this
no, of
stuff,
course.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that's-
technically, we would create a small little circle, a temporary circle for DEFCON 3, and you would be in charge of this little area of determining the goal, or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it doesn't
from,
matter how
from that
what
circle, maybe
bureaucracy.
it's gonna come. Maybe it's gonna pair 1 or 2 circles or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
can happen that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It not needs to be defined here.
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so if I can just repeat your proposal, the tension is, hey, we need a goal for DEFCON 3. The solution, the proposal is you will lead a meeting on determining the goal for DEFCON 3. Done. Okay. Any clarifying questions? Reactions? We'll just go. Thumbs? Yep.
Absolutely necessary.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I think this is one of the goals why we are here right now.
My reaction is I hope that we leave this place with that clear.
Yes, just what people said before me, I really like it.
Ditto.
Okay. So then, any objection, or do you want to amend or clarify your proposal?
People, it's okay. Yeah. Well, just we can put that in the agenda in these 2 days.
Yes, it's part
Yeah.
of the agenda.
It's
Yeah,
part of
it's
the
actually
agenda.
right after lunch. Okay, next.
That's what happened when you don't read it.
That's okay.
Details on it.
Okay, are there any objections?
Mental message.
Okay, then we're moving to the next agenda item because the proposal passed. Launch energy and product. Whose was that?
Yeah, mine. But actually there were 3 things, but...
Oh, there are 3?
Do you
Okay.
wanna do you wanna do
Make them
well, I'm just going to start with energy and product.
Okay.
So my intention is that when I started here, I felt there was like a lot of energy. We had like a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions about the product, about how to move forward. And then the burn happened. And then I felt like all the energy like kind of died. We hardly have meetings. I mean, even us is like posting videos of our dev progress in the channel so that we don't have to have a meeting. So my proposal for this is to bring this energy back, and I want to create an energy role. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm proposing to assign it to Griff because I
Oh
think
shit.
because I feel like if Griff is not in any of those meetings, then the energy is like draining. So at least Griff needs to be there. Yeah, so that's my proposal for this.
Okay.
The first one.
Clarifying question.
Yes.
Are there any specific, like, what's the purpose of the energy role?
Nothing, you just have to be in the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
It's
yes.
special-
Energy,
it's special
that's
for you.
So is the role is basically for me to go to every meeting, or the person who has an energy role has to be in every meeting?
Every meeting.
Okay.
I have a clarifying question. It's like probably it's not from this question, but for this system. Okay, he just say a proposal that you are clearly affected. Okay, so it's like you can have what objections, but it's like you get imposed on that. Imagine that you don't want to do that because you have other things to do. You can do so.
Yeah, I have 2 opportunities. I have the reaction round.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck, right? I just clarified what it meant to me, right? And then I could also object and say, yeah, guess what? I'm not fucking doing it. And then it's over. Like, that's it. He can't impose on me. So the objection would require an amendment, and he'd be like, okay, we're going to amend this proposal to say Griff.
And the
does
amendment,
this,
when is
or-
the amendment in the last round?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because we haven't had any
Okay.
successful objections.
Okay.
I know we will. Yeah.
Clarifying question, what do you mean that it makes a difference for a meeting to have Griff involved? Is it because you feel that Griff is the only one who can make decisions on that meeting?
No, I feel he's the spiritual leader of Give It.
It doesn't really, I don't think it stops any working group for that, but okay, the clarifying role was exactly what is it that you expect that energy to come out as a cheerleader, like, hey, great, this is what we're doing, or making decisions about, yes, this is right, this is wrong, or, you know, kind of like, what is that energy that you're looking for? Because, can I go on?
Yeah.
I proposed a meeting that you actually declined to participate with Wojtek and Zed, and I thought that that could be a good meeting for all of you to have a good synergy, and that was declined. So I want to know, why does it have to be something that is led by Griffith's energy?
I don't have to answer it.
Yeah, you do. Well, you can just say, I'm not responding.
But
I
what
thought first
was
let's
we're
clarify.
clarifying or we're in
Well,
reactions?
No, we're in clarifying.
Clarifying.
So
I
her
understand
clarifying
this
question
energy.
was, she wants to understand more about what energy. we
Okay,
use.
so maybe it's also related to this, to your point actually of the playbooks, like how do decisions get made here?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and I feel like if Griff is not in in a meeting, then it's actually, even though maybe the people that are in the meeting think, hey, this is like, there's no final decision being made, or if we should continue this way, or so maybe that's the problem here. Yeah, and that brings the energy down.
That is-
That is what I feel.
Clarifying question?
Well, probably it's clarifying because one thing is, okay, you say 2 things right now. One thing is the decision making, So one is you need grief because of decision making, and another thing is you need grief because there is like this energy. I think that are two different things.
Yeah, okay, maybe, I mean, I'm also doing this for the first time. And I just put a word, energy, and now I have to make a proposal on the fly without having thought about it at all.
Well, I'm sorry, but you know, like,
Well, you're doing it wrong.
I just see, before the burn, Griff was in every meeting, there was I felt there was high energy, so my proposal is,
yeah,
Bring-
but
Break that.
sorry, because one thing is they have nothing to do. You know, they are like for me like two proposals. So it's like one is for grief. We need grief for energy. It's like
I don't know.
feel, you know, grief just transfer a kind of
Aura.
aurora, and hey, that's important, and I think that's true. So it's okay. And another thing is that. If we have a problem is that in order to take decisions in the development, we need grief. I think that's one thing.
Okay,
is,
wait, but is this a clarifying question?
the clarifying is what are you arguing? So which is the proposal? For the first or for the second? Because I think that that's very different.
think-
One thing and the
okay, I
other.
think my most important concern is the second. It's
Okay.
like, we have meetings, but there's like a sense of like, are we going in the right direction or not?
Okay.
And maybe that's not up to Griff, but I think Griff should be there in those meetings. But it should also be like, how do we make those directions as a team?
Okay, that's another story. Okay.
Okay? So,
So I feel like you've like hit on a good tension and like a good, you know, this is a good problem that I understand. But I don't know what and I don't know if this is the best forum for it, you know, but it's like I feel like it's like somehow we got to be able to express this tension and resolve this tension, right? And so I want to got to be able to do that. Is this the right meeting for that? Or
This is he's creating a role, and I'm curious what your clarifying question is.
So my clarifying question is like, yeah, what is the role, circle, or policy proposal?
The Griff's gonna be.
so
It's
that's
my
it.
turn.
Griff is going to be in the meeting. So the meeting.
The policy will be Griff will be into which meetings? All meetings? A meeting? Once a week?
I
I
mean,
think
you,
about it a bit more.
Apparently.
Well, maybe unless maybe I,
I
feel
think
like we
there's a
should.
tension, I just don't know how to solve it.
I think
No,
we
I-
should
I
move
feel
into.
too.
Yeah,
I
so
think we should
I think
move.
the tension is like, how do we, I don't know,
I'm gonna move
the
them
right
in-
proposal
I-
to solve this.
I feel like we should move into reaction round,
Yeah.
and then let him amend and clarify. So
Oh, okay, give you some time.
yeah, so I'm to the
can I
left of
react to
him.
this?
You can when it's your turn.
Oh,
I'm to the left, and we've been going to the left.
I want to react to
So my reaction is, there's no fucking way I'm going to every meeting. So good luck with that. I don't really like making every decision. I really believe that the main decision I want to make is, or have a say in, is who has a say in what decision, right? And trust that they are making the right direction. I do think that there is something to having one person or a designated group of people have a playbook, and I think it's important that we have somebody. I think that if we have the circle for a playbook, for a strategy, for like a global strategy for Give It, and somebody in that circle is part of every meeting that expands outside of a specific task. For instance, if Grace has a meeting with Caleb about branding, and Alan, Grace and Alan are talking about like the detail with Caleb, the details of whether one pixel should be to the left or the right. Obviously, we don't need somebody there, right? I shouldn't be part of that. I would be a distraction, and I got better shit to do. So there's got to be some kind of scope, or like any big where there's a meeting where people feel like they're making decisions that are this. Maybe we should create a policy of, hey, this feels like we're changing direction, and we need to run it by whoever's running the strategy role, and that's on the decision side. The energy side, thanks, man. That's nice. Like that makes me smile and feel really good that everyone likes my energy.
I know.
So
Get it on me sometimes.
yeah, well, doesn't like it, but yeah, he's been friends with me for 10 years, so we'll see.
I don't know if I abstain or maybe just add one comment. I don't think it's very healthy to rely so much on needing whoever's approval will be all the time. So if there is a way that we can figure out a way to both be energetic and be decisive and come up with definitive conclusions by the end of the meetings without needing to bother Griff or whoever is in this role at the time, I think that might be a better solution.
I don't know, I think that he was trying to create like a motivational role and how to create that without choosing a leader for that, you know, how to bring that motivational or energy role to the circle.
I completely know where you're coming from, or like I completely I have the same feeling. I have some examples where that sort of happened, and I just always thought that it's because I did not understand the holacracy well enough to like how much of a influence a single person has, who for example takes product definition, if his word is final or if it's open up to a question. And I think this needs to be addressed and maybe part of the playbook.
So I liked to take you to the clarification because I felt that there was the underlying problem or tension that you really wanted to bring wasn't that there wasn't no energy there, but it was the kind of having Griff being part of the whole decision-making process. And while I think that's an important thing because he is the main person in this project, he's not the only person. And I think that part of bringing a holacracy model is to actually say, hey, the decision is not made by one person, but it's made by a group of people, which is what attracts me into this project. Because if we would all have to wait until Griff makes a decision, yes or no, I don't think I will be here, honestly. This is not how I would go about it. So, because we are all bringing quite, a high level of skills in different areas and we have different perspectives, makes it attractive to me to say, as a group, let's decide this, or let's make a decision on this. Obviously, not for everything, because you guys, if you're talking about the UI, you know best. I cannot make that decision for you. So I understand where my limitations are as well. But I think it's important that this organization functions with or without Griff, with or without Grace, with or without Boyko, with or without Jordi. And it needs to function the same way at all times, with or without burning them. And that's the whole point that I see. This, hence, trying to bring a playbook or trying to bring things that allows us to raise that level of confidence about how we go about our own business.
I understand you, Satya. I think it was probably the proposal was not formulated specific enough, or like I don't think you really want Griff to be at every meeting. But what you were missing probably was the kind of unifying quality that Griff really brings into meetings, and that's nice. And I also felt like that cohesion was slipping a bit. I felt like the team was a bit more disjointed when you were totally absent. But Grace is totally right. We cannot rely on you. And this is actually, so I think it's a very important point, but I think it's where we should also look to ourselves and see how, and also allow, of course, the energy of other people and let motivation come from every corner, and ourselves try to motivate or try to, we all have to be very careful with social stuff because we write a lot, for example. Like I talked to you about it last time, like you don't know what the mood was of the person writing this right now. It's really a problem with the short messages. Ask people who broke up upon a short message that was that was not the intention of the message. So we should be clear in communication. We should try to be tolerant, I think, of each other, but we should also be vocal if something really goes wrong or we detect something go wrong. It's always better to correct before something happens. I think that's a very long thing. Thanks for bringing up the point.
Yeah, I agree with the tension, kind of the same feeling of like nothing's ever like doesn't seem finalized, or things happen and like not everybody's involved because there's not like a central place to look at like this is what we're doing, or I don't know if I agree with your proposal, but I do think that the tension needs to be figured out, some procedures or something for how we interact.
Yep, totally down with the tension. I feel like, you know, the dev team is kind of, you know, my inner family circle of the bigger family of Giveth, and so I'm concerned about, you know, all of Giveth too, but I'm also kind of like especially concerned with the dev team, and so not sure exactly, you know, what the solution is, but I'm totally down to experiment like in every way. It's like you guys are honestly, I feel like, are already my, you know, brothers in arms, right? You guys have already taken this thing so far, so I already have all this invested relationship with you guys just on the fact that we are, you know, bleeding over the same stuff, you guys. And so the strategy of, from what I understood from the holacracy thing, was for people to be kind of like self-leaders in a lot of ways, you know. So, but there's something that is, you know, it gets lonely sometimes if you're, you know, out there and disconnected from the rest. So I'm totally down for tension. I'm totally down to find solutions. And what I'm saying is that I'm extra committed to us figuring out on the dev team. I'll do anything or try anything. But, you know, even if things, I don't expect things to be perfect all the time in every circle all the time. But the dev team, personally, yes, talk to me about this anytime. Let's figure out what's going to make things have good energy and be fun and connected, at least amongst each other and everyone.
I'm gonna talk about problem more in the technical side of the technical meeting. So it's like when you are developing, you are taking lots of decisions, lots. Some of them technical, but some of them that are product based. Okay, and you are taking decisions. A good developer don't have to ask anything. Have like a vision, but needs a reference. Okay, so sometimes you have those. Sometimes you have, okay, this we can do it this way or this way, and you need somebody to ask. You need somebody to clarify, and somebody that chooses and decides. Okay, and these decisions are many, and you cannot make, you know, a full meeting of whatever just to take the decisions. You need to take what's called a product leader or a product owner, call it whatever you want, but just a reference, okay? And this reference needs to be defined for any product. And this reference can only be a person if you want to be efficient, okay? If you want to be nice and cool, you can make each of these decisions, but it's the way to delay and do nothing. And even you do products that are not current, and you know, it's like, because you are more thinking in just a political, this good, and he says that, but you know, it's not doesn't work. Products done that way doesn't work. You need to choose a person, okay? Maybe it's Griff, maybe it's also, maybe it's whoever, okay? And yes, agree. So we can, maybe this person can be replaced, okay? Maybe this person can change, and if it doesn't work, we can change that person. But the developers needs a single person of reference to build the product, okay? And the communication with this person needs to be available, say, 24 hours, and it's like you need this person, and it's a key role. It's a key role when you want to. And this is how the way I always work the way. Okay, so that's the story. So
like the product owner.
The product owner, yeah. Put the name you want, but it's the guy that has like the last chance. That it's like when the decision is, you know, if you have some doubt, you can ask this guy, and if this guy says that, you just go there. This product owner, of course, needs to be a leader. If this owner have to fight all the time with the developers, maybe it's not a good product owner, and maybe he cannot continue on. Okay, but if it's a good leader, if it's a good product, it needs to be clear. Of course, this product owner, of course, can talk with everybody in the organization. You can decide whatever, but this is a key when you are doing software, this person is a key person and can only be one single person. Okay, and that's what I've never seen something that works when there are two persons deciding. Okay, the developers needs to be clear which the developers that create product. The things you create infrastructure, and then the reference is all of stuff. But if you are creating product, you need that. So for me, you're absolutely right. I'm absolutely unique, and I think that the solution is clarify who's the product owner. Okay, and of course the product owner, at least in the product meetings, needs to be there. And it's not, I would say, it's not even necessary. It's not even enough to be in the meetings. It needs to be with the people. You know, it's like it needs to be direct access from any developer to this product owner, because it stops. If you don't have this, if you cannot answer questions in real time, you may stop. Maybe you can try to find something else, but you know, it's like as more accessible is with this person, as fast you can develop, and as this product owner is not an easy role. Okay, it's not a bad product owner. It's a synonym of a bad product. Okay, and a good product owner is a good product. So having a good product owner is not easy. Okay, I don't know here if we have a good product owner. Okay, but it's not an easy. It's not an easy job. I don't know if Griff is the best product owner that we have here. I don't know what. Probably yes, but no, I don't know. Man, it's like I have not been working with them, so I'm not sure. Okay, so I have not. But this is important. And yes, I think that's agree with him, and I think that we need to define this product owner for the product.
I just say stuff everyone else said already. So I totally agree on this energy stuff. I think that's pretty impressive, right? That Griff has this. Yeah, I'm here, and everyone's there. But I absolutely agree to what Wojciech and Grace and Kay said, that we need more people who decide this, which makes it easier for Griff and for the rest of us.
So I'm going to try to be brief, but I think we made a circle that's called product definition, and if that's not product owner, then I don't know what that circle is. So that's more like reaction for Jordi, and then reaction to what you said, Satya. I think the energy died because the collaboration died. And if we all, if people collaborate and if they all make progress, the energy will go back up again. So I think we're all responsible for this situation that we're in. That's my reaction.
Okay, Satya, would you like to amend and clarify your proposal? So you can keep it the same, or you can just read this and it'll say that
No, I'm not going to keep it the same, of course. No, let's say that I hope with a clear goal for DEF CON, with the holacracy model and product definition circle. I don't even know who's in the circle. Yeah, maybe we get there. What else?
Well, what's the proposal?
There's no proposal.
So we just have a tension. There's what the proposal is to keep things the way they are.
No, we're going to change a lot of things already.
Okay.
But you're not to change the government, but to change things, but not the government. Is what you're saying.
Well, we're going to change it because we're going to have holacracy, right?
So are you?
We already have
holacracy. Are you proposing?
Holacracy. You're already in holacracy.
Now we're in holacracy.
Since the beginning. It was holacracy.
Okay, so are you proposing?
But I agree with Jordi, because I think that's what I've been missing.
So would you like to propose that we have a product owner role?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I said you should be in every meeting.
And so you want to nominate
I don't know if you should be there.
You want to nominate me as product owner?
Yeah, I guess so.
And okay, is
May-
that
may I-
that the proposal?
May I ask one more question there?
Yeah.
Would the product definition circle, having that more present and effectively, like taking these decisions and making them final,
So,
Do you think that would help? Do you think that would that could replace having Griff on every meeting decision?
I think Sasha was missing the fact that there
I'm
is
confused.
that
Are you guys allowed to talk?
then
So I was
avoid that
seeing if
kind
that
of
was a